Hi, this is Donna. You are listening to TV Confidential.
Our second hour will include replays of our conversations with Ken Osmond of Leave It to Beaver and Kathy Coleman of Land of the Lost. We hope you'll stay tuned for that. In the meantime, Tony Figueroa and Donna Allen are with us as we take a look at this week in TV history. Tony's segment, as always, is brought to us by our friends at Story Salon, Southern California's longest-running, regularly performing live storytelling ensemble. For more information, storysalon.com, facebook.com/Story Salon. What do you have for us this week?
So let's go to November 13th. Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg, she was born in the Chelsea section of New York. I remember seeing a wonderful interview that she had when she had her own talk show interviewing George Carlin, because a lot of it was just talking about the old neighborhoods where they grew up, because it was actually not that far apart. And I loved hearing, her telling those stories. But I think she really got her career going in San Diego. That is, acting and both stand-up. But, that's where she really got her launch. And then once she was established in the mid-'80s, she took her one-person show to Broadway and got even bigger.
Is that where Steven Spielberg first saw her?
I believe Steven Spielberg saw her when she was still on the West Coast.
Oh, yeah.
Because she was growing in San Diego and then L.A. and then it went to Broadway. Just seeing her as a comedian, and I think she may have even been on with hitting like the talk show circuit as a comedian. Every possible TV venue during the comedy boom of the 1980s. She really, really hit it big. And then, later on she was doing more Broadway-based stuff and feature films.
Well, her Broadway show was a series of her one-person show was the different characters that she created over the years that just no one had ever seen anything like it. It blew people away and got a lot of attention.
And I remember, it was like 1985 where she was doing like all the local shows because people were just blown away with what she was doing. And she had already been at the Comedy Store on Sunset and the one in La Jolla. And she had been doing improv in San Diego, and that's where she first met Robin Williams.
Right, and she did Live Aid for many years.
Comic Relief.
Comic Relief for many years. This is my bias because I'm from San Francisco. My favorite movie of hers is Sister Act because it is shot in San Francisco, and it makes good use of as virtually every movie Chris Columbus makes. It's like a love letter to San Francisco. But it's a fun movie.
It is.
It's not one of her best movies, but it's a fun movie.
Right, and one of my favorites is one of her first, Jumpin' Jack Flash.
Yeah.
That's a fun movie.
Yeah.
That was that Penny Marshall directed that.
I think you're correct.
She did that. John Lovitz was one of her co-stars, new from Saturday Night Live, the liar guy. And I think John Lovitz has been in every Penny Marshall movie. John Lovitz is
like Clint Howard.
Like Clint Howard for Ron Howard,
or
and Hector Elizondo for Penny's brother Gary.
Gary.
He's got to be taken in there. But Whoopi Goldberg currently is one of the hosts of The View.
She is the moderator of The View.
Yeah, I was going to say she's the anchor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of nice to see Rosie again, but she's better served reacting to stuff versus hosting the stuff. I mean, because you have to have some sort. In order to do that very well, you've got to have someone who could play both sides and be the voice of reason.
Yeah, and Whoopi Goldberg does that excellently. Yeah. And right now, she is the anchor of the show, and she's keeping that show afloat with the three new women. Or the two new women and a returning Rosie O'Donnell. I'd like to see them in a month, 6 weeks, to see if the personalities gel and they find the rhythm, which is needed whenever you're putting an ensemble together. The View, I think, was such a shocker to all of a sudden the only one who has left from last season is Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
Everybody else is gone. They're starting over, and it's interesting mix of women. I'll be interested to see where they are in November sweeps.
Well, maybe we'll revisit that.
Yeah, we should, but also Barbara Walters is not there.
Well, Barbara Walters, she's not there on camera. I understand, at least initially, she was behind the scenes. At least.
She's still the executive producer.
Well, it's her show, and it is in her best interest for the show to succeed.
Yes.
And it makes sense that she anointed Whoopi as the moderator, because there's transition from the old panel to the new panel. Plus, you had someone who had the opportunity to work with Barbara on a day in, day out basis, and so so it's when you pass the baton. I mean, I think that was a very wise decision.
Yes.
Yeah, it is amazing the amount of stuff she's done and the difference. And we were on a Star Trek kick a little earlier.
That's right. She played Guinan.
The
bartender.
And Hollywood Square. She was the center square for a while.
Whoopster.
Yeah, Tom Bergeron. Yeah, she was one of the producers of that. So she's handled everything from sci-fi to game shows, and
she produced Sister Act on stage
on Broadway.
It opened in the West End in London before it came to New York.
And within the last year, she did a documentary on Mom's
Mabley, yes,
which recently made its premiere on HBO, as I recall.
And she did a tribute where she played Mom's Mabley for a variety show. I think it was with Carol Burnett, and she basically transformed into Mom's. She had prosthetic gums because Mom's Mabley would take her teeth out to do the act. Yeah. And so she had to kind of capture that. That was the only prosthetic she used.
An iconic figure that if it weren't for people like Whoopi Goldberg making a documentary about her, could be...
She could have faded into the ether.
Yes.
Yeah. But, at the same time, Whoopi Goldberg owes a lot to Mom's
yes, she does.
Mabley, as do a lot of comedians. Women, I mean, Joan Rivers, for example, that would be somebody that she would owe a certain level of credit to. But you look at all of those pioneers, and unfortunately, the Mom's Mabley would be fading into obscurity. We talked about Ed Sullivan. She was another regular on the Ed Sullivan Show. So Whoopi, just a Renaissance woman on that level.
I just like saying whoopster.
Whoopster, yeah. And very opinionated too. She does
that's
not.
Why she's on The View.
And I think she makes a point of being on The View. But I think unlike certain people on The View, past and present and re-present, I think when she says something, it's because she means it. Yeah. She stands behind it. She is not trying.
You're not just saying it for effect.
Exactly.
Yes.
She and she would bring, and because she does have a little maturity over other, she's not just speaking from necessarily opinion. She does have some background to say, I was alive during the 60s. That's what formed my point of view. Yeah. Now you're just parroting what somebody else is saying. So I think she is able to get away with a little bit more than some of the other people because she's been around a little bit longer, and she can back up her statements either through experience or what she's learned. And so she's not going to throw it out there just to get a reaction. She may say something to get a laugh, but she's not going to just say something controversial to get a reaction.
We'll continue our look at This Week in TV History right after this.
And Robertson with enough time to tell you that our friends at Time Life, working alongside the trustees of the Robin Williams estate, have now made Robin Williams Comic Genius available at retail for the very first time in 3 different configurations, including a 5-DVD collector set edition that is available exclusively at Walmart. The 5-DVD edition of Robin Williams Comic Genius includes the crown jewels of Robin's stand-up career, all 5 of his HBO specials spanning the periods of 1978 through 2009, plus rare archival footage of Robin's early stand-up career, as well as raw footage from HBO's promo shoots and press interviews, and brand new interviews with Louis Black and Robin's manager, David Steinberg. That is all included in the 5-DVD edition of Robin Williams Comic Genius. The 5-DVD edition of Robin Williams Comic Genius is available exclusively at Walmart.
Story Salon is Los Angeles' longest-running storytelling venue.
We have live shows every Wednesday in Studio City, as well as solo shows, podcasts, CDs, and several books. Los Angeles Daily News calls Story Salon Gemstones of Narrative, something new, funny, astonishing. Sunset Magazine says tales tall, tragic, and tantalizing. All of this makes Story Salon one of the most eclectic entertainment experiences available. You can learn more about us by going to our Facebook page or by visiting our website at www.storysalon.com.
Accredited by Guinness World Records, welcome to Archival Television Audio Incorporated, a peerless TV soundtrack archive preserving the audio from television's first 3 decades, the 1950s, 60s, and 70s, the golden and silver age of television.
For more information, go to atvaudio.com.
Ed Robertson, along with her friend Donna Allen Figueroa, who I understand has a new book out.
Yes, it's entitled Fall Again Beginnings. It's the first part of a 4-part contemporary romantic series set against the background of working actors.
Something that you know a thing or two
well,
about.
You write what you know, and I have been working in the business for several years.
It is not necessarily autobiographical, but it's based on...
Sure, many of the experiences that the actors in my book have, many have happened to me, many have happened to friends of mine. It's not, if you're looking for Valley of the Dolls, it's not, it's grounded in reality.
It is grounded in reality, and it's the first in a series.
Yes.
Called the Fall Again series.
Fall Again.
Which is available as a paperback as well as an ebook and in Kindle at fallagainseries.com.